You can kill that music.
He knows.
Mike, kill that volume on that. It's going to come through the mic. Is that Ken?
It is.
Okay.
There we are.
You didn't have a pen or paper for the...
Oh. I do have our Gone notebook, yeah. Don't look at this.
Nobody should notice.
Don't look.
Is the front door locked?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's going on, everybody? Can you hear us? Let us know how the audio is.
How about that color, too? We did some color improvements. Wow, it looks so much better than the last ones. Like, yeah. It's like night and day. Better. What are you doing?
Dude,
JR
start with the numbers.
JR thinks you're disqualified from everything.
He's trying to get that shadow ban right off the bat, man. All right.
JR Sanks is here for one reason.
He's here to win.
He's here for one thing and one thing only.
And it's disgusting.
And it's disgusting.
And it's disgusting. Audio and video looks good.
Love it.
Had to.
Love it. I have not eaten all day, so the whiskey is doing me just right.
So it's perfect time for you to do a whole lot of talking here in a minute. Right?
I should not talk. I will only get in trouble.
Well, you don't have a choice here, unfortunately.
I have to talk.
Yep.
Okay.
Small in volume. Are you sure? Can everyone else hear us fine? Crank those volumes up.
Did you post in the lounge?
I did not post in the lounge. I should post in the lounge.
Put that link up, my guy.
Let's get some, who here is a member of the Facebook group, the Craft and Lore Lounge? We want to see some love from you guys, because we love you guys. I got to share the live link right now.
We'll get started in just a second, guys and gals. Is it cold out here yet? It is unseasonably warm this week, like 70s.
Yeah.
But then drops to like 48 at night.
It's actually like the ultimate weather right now. It's like that nice, cool, like you can throw on a jacket.
Yeah.
The sun is nice and warm, and nights are crisp.
Yep.
Oh, kind of perfect. Very romantic.
Oh, yes.
The way you said that.
Yes.
Crisp.
Nice for a glass of wine on the porch with a beautiful lady.
Ooh.
Take my breath away.
Gary's definitely a lounge member.
Gary Bruner, how are you, friend? Hope all is well with you guys.
All right.
Well, let's get started.
I think we're solid
Let's do it.
on the old audio video test.
All right, time for the intro. Welcome to episode 5 of Craft and Lore Live.
Is it that many already?
I am your host, Nathaniel Von Lind.
I'm your main host,
Wow.
Michael Miles.
Good flex.
And I'm the guy on the side. You throw out the
He's the
Stevenson.
side guy.
I'm the side guy.
What's your name, side guy?
Douglas. I think I said it, right? Douglas Stevenson. Hi. Selfishton on Instagram. Give me a follow.
Shout out.
Instagram is tanking my engagement right now.
He's got a book coming
I
out
could use
too.
it.
Let's plug all the. Got a movie coming out.
Purchase
All right. Oh, yeah.
his presets, and your photos can look exactly like his.
My presets are for sale if you want to follow the link in my bio.
That's not a joke.
No, for real.
Check those out though.
But
Seriously.
yeah.
How do you think he got all of his skills?
Wait, what?
Wait a second.
True.
Is that a Mexican Coke on the table? Yeah, it's a Mexican Coke on the table.
Yeah, this is from the friendly neighborhood taco truck. They only have the best Coca-Cola
With the real sugar.
with the real sugar. All right.
Cool.
Well, as some of you guys may know from the title of the video here, you cheaters, we are talking about Craft and Lore, we're talking about the business, the origin story.
It's one of those questions that we get asked a lot. How did you get started in this? And we figured a comprehensive story time, make fun of each other time, embarrassing early beginnings time.
Share some of our favorite stories.
Yeah.
Some of the trials, the tribulations.
How we got to where we are, which we still don't know exactly how we did it. There's no algorithm or formula for making a shit show.
Lots
exactly
of whiskey.
like ours.
Lots of whiskey, just stumbling through it.
Yeah.
And just working through it.
Yeah.
So that's today's topic. We will be doing QA giveaways, a couple of announcements and things kind of woven in as well. As always, too, you guys can fire off questions there in the chat whenever you want. Doesn't mean we'll answer them, but we'll kind of bank the ones we deem responding to. So yeah, let's get it started here. So the biggest question always is when people come in here and talk to us online is how did we start and why leather? Like why did we start the business?
Yep. All right. So the name Craft and Lore, which everyone thinks is a great name or it's an interesting name, and people ask me about it all the time, was kind of a bushcraft wood lore combination that back in, I don't know, 2011, 2012, I was doing a lot of bushcraft, spending time out in the woods, just primitive tech stuff. And I ended up starting a Tumblr account and called it Craft and Lore, and it was never meant to be anything more than just a place where I either posted my own photos or I shared a lot of photos of other bushcraft, outdoor, moody vibe, feel-good stuff. I was working in the North Dakota oil fields at the time, so I would spend hitches out there. But I picked up leathercraft after being tired of being on a computer and doing digital or graphic design, web design, stuff like that. I love to create, love to design, love to make things beautiful, and wanted to do stuff with my hands. And I kind of came into leathercraft after seeing Ian Atkinson. If you are a leather guy, you probably have seen his YouTube videos, but he does great videos. But back in 2012, I saw one of his knife sheath videos, and I'm like, all right, it was a walkthrough. It was very thorough. And he's this Yorkshire kid with a real, that thick British accent. So
which makes it easy to listen to and follow along. Really.
It's
like soothing.
Yeah, it's entertaining. But I
yeah.
would just lay in bed at night for hours watching his videos, and my poor wife had to hear this Yorkshire accent just in her ear while she tried to go to bed every night for hours. And so, thank you, Carrie. I love you. Anyways, I did a knife sheath and I found out I loved it, and I started just making stuff. But Craft and Lore, top it off.
just
gonna get lit.
One shot of that.
Okay, good.
1 ounce of vodka.
Yeah, that's more than an ounce. Yeah,
sorry about that.
That's a dozen fingers.
That's looking about right.
All right,
It is.
that's a couple. Anyways, it was never meant to be a brand. It was never meant to be anything. It just kind of went from being a Tumblr place where I shared stuff, and then I would start injecting my own photos of stuff I had made on my own. And then about, I don't know, maybe a year or so, I get a message from this total stranger on Facebook. He had seen photos that I had that were public of leather work that I was doing, and at the time I was kind of operating under just my hobby as Von Lind Leather, and some kid named Michael Miles is messaging me like, man, I really want to do leather stuff too. I'm kind of tinkering on my own, but it'd be cool to kind of hang out. And I'm like, you know what? Don't. I don't know you. I don't have time. I don't know where you're from or what you're about.
He just flat out tells me no.
Yeah.
It was because of his social media or actually your Google search result. I just typed in leather worker in the area we were in, and I was to and from out of state, and I just found this guy, this leather worker in my town. I had no clue he was even here, and I call him up. He has a number listed, and I call him up, and I'm like, hey man, I just want to do a class. Like, I've been doing leatherworking for a while. Do you guys do classes? And he just flat out, no. Just like that. Just no.
Don't want you.
I'm not used to no's.
I don't like you. I don't know you.
I'm getting ready to throw dollars at him. and I told him, I'll pay you for your time. No. Don't want to do it. Don't have time. I'm like, okay, I love to hate this guy right now.
Yep.
So then I hit him up on his on his Facebook.
Somehow that sounds
like
familiar.
like
to
a
me.
creature
I don't
Just
know.
in my DMs.
I don't know why, but
Yeah.
I feel like I've had that similar experience. I don't know.
What happened next? We find out eventually that we have a mutual friend, and I love the kid who's our mutual friend, and I tell him, Nick Bierstrom, if you're watching, dude, all right, if you want to bring your buddy Michael over, then bring him over. And Michael's just trying to coax me with everything he's got. He's like, you know what? I do a killer homebrew. And I'm like, yeah, I've heard that before. He shows up with the best brew any person, human, machine makes. In fact, it's still a job requirement that he keeps our kegerator loaded.
It was one of the only reasons why he even wanted me to work in the shop with him.
I'm like, okay.
Originally, it was just to provide booze for him.
I could tolerate him if he keeps his old German recipe Apfelweizen brew, keeping my wheels greased. So he did, and it's been a love affair.
There's a photo. We were trying to find it for this. There's a
With the
photo.
beer, Mike.
With both. Well, yeah.
There's a photo of the first time we hung out because Nick was a photographer or a budding photographer at the time, and one of the first times hanging out with Nathaniel in his kitchen where his studio was making leather products. We're hanging out and he's pouring some of the beer out of the growler and shoot, you still have the growler probably. You never gave it back, you bastard. But
True.
one of the best. It was seriously one of the funnest things. One of the funnest nights I had in a long time, dude. Like that was a blast. We didn't get a whole lot of leather working done because we were pretty tossed by the end of the growler.
Yeah. At the time, it was still just a hobby. It was beginning of 2014, and I was still doing web work and side work, and I feel like there was still kind of some economic depression going on after like the housing market crash in 2011. Work was hard, especially in North Idaho. It's already a little bit of a depressed area anyhow. Anyways, I continued to do it as side work, or leathercraft as side work. And then I don't know, the port wallet came out. Well, that was one of the first things we launched when I launched the website. It was the port wallet. It was the key kedge.
The mountain belt.
No, the craft belt actually came first.
Okay.
And the Woodlander, which is why we still keep it because it's a little bit of a nostalgic item for me. And it was those 4 items, and I built a website, and I was just posting photos to Instagram and Tumblr. And it was about a year later that I actually ran the Port Wallet Kickstarter, and it was still a side gig for me. And man, it did really good. I did not expect it to sell 300 of those wallets, and I start like wondering, like, all right, I have to stitch so many Port Wallets. And Mike was like, dude, I saw the Kickstarter, it was great. Let me just come over and hang out with you and stitch wallets. And I'm like, all right, like this is where I could actually use him. Like, let's give him the old test and see if he can hold up to it. And it was basically, we would go down to the breweries, like Northern Lights or No Lie in Spokane. We'd go there, and then some other local ones, and we would just sit there and drink beer and stitch as many Port Wallets as we could stitch until our fingers hurt, and we had to give it up. Yeah,
we could only do, that at that time, it was tough on us to sew that many wallets. I mean, I had gone from no stitching, very rarely stitching to like, try to do as many of these things as I could. And so it was actually a tough Kickstarter to fill, I think, especially with all the finish work you have to do on the port and all of the,
And the thing about leatherwork is you have to have the drive or the motive, like you have to love it to where you're just doing it because you love doing it and you don't have to be told. And that was where I was kind of figuring out, is Michael that kind of guy, or is it just a job and he wants to get paid hourly and it's this and that? But no, he loved it, didn't complain, kept doing it, and his heart was fully there. And after, I don't know, maybe a month or 2 of him just showing up on his own, I didn't tell him when or where, he just showed up on his own and he just made whatever was on the order list. I'm like, all right, this might be the guy. And Mike is the guy, so he's the unicorn at Craft & Lore. He basically keeps the whole operation going and built it up to what it even is. Otherwise, it would still be a hobby in my garage.
It was kind of an interesting time because you had moved from essentially your kitchen at that time with the Port Wallet Kickstarter, and you had moved into the warehouse space.
Oh yeah,
and it was a small studio, but it was still, man, it still felt real. Like for me, that felt like a real business because we had you had at that time a small little space to call your own, etched out of that warehouse, and we did a lot, dude. We did a lot in that 10 by 15 or whatever
small
it was.
spot. And we still have customers that ride with us now, who even like had come in to visit us. Beth from Texas, she came in to see, I remember, and it's like an So we were in a shared warehouse space. At the time, I was working as a marketing manager for a startup tool company for a friend called Uniber. And my partner gave me kind of a section in the back warehouse, and that allowed me to move out of the garage and both work at Uniber and do my craft and lore stuff. So I was kind of bouncing in between. Mike was just working the workshop at leather, and then I was kind of running over to Uniber doing that, and then coming back doing leather. What did we last there? A year, 2 years?
We were there for a little over a year.
Yeah.
I had quit when I came on to work to kind of help out. At first, it was just literally just to help out. It wasn't even a job or anything like that. I was just kind of in there just to hang out, and I really loved what he had going on in his business ethics and whatnot. And we just had a blast. Like, we just talked all the time.
It was fun. We just goofed off a lot.
Just two buddies just hanging out and just having a great time making stuff. And then that fall, after that Port Wallet Kickstarter, your other business that you were there with took off and kind of went viral overnight. And I will never forget, I just get the look from him, and he just turns to me and he goes, "Mikey, whatever you can do to help with craft and lore, do it, because I have to focus my attention over here too, and it's really hard to balance the two."
That was a defining moment in our relationship where I knew like you were boss material, first of all, because I had made a video that went viral on Facebook, and it was like 20 million views for this tool my buddy invented. Mm-hmm. And it finally went viral, and our phones were ringing nonstop in every language wanting this tool. And it was insane watching our PayPal account explode on our phones. Like, we couldn't stop it. It was an amazing experience. But that was the time where I looked at Mike and I go, "Mike, craft and lore is all yours. I'm out for a while." And he handled it all and made it happen.
He's like, "Just do as much as you can, and if you can't do it all, I don't want you to." Yeah. And it was an opportunity for me to I just looked at him and said, I got this. And literally just came back in the next day, and it was 10-hour days, 12-hour days, just taking stuff home. It was right during holiday season. That was like December 2nd or 4th or something like that. We had just a short amount of time to finish everything.
Was that 2015?
Yeah.
Man.
And so it was a wild ride. You know, it's weird how these things kind of get timed and work out. But
yeah.
That was the moment where I became, you know, an employee, and at that time the primary maker for the most part. And I felt so green still. I was so worried. Every day I'm like taking stuff to him, and I'm like, "Is this good enough?"
Yeah.
I don't know if this is good enough, you know, and meeting that standard of quality. And it was tough for me in the beginning.
Mike was good he really wanted that perfection level, and he was having to learn the real detail fast.
Yeah.
And so if it didn't quite meet up, I'm like, you know, throw it away, or we'll get rid of it or use it or sell it as a second or a beater. So he would beat himself up if he couldn't perfect it every single time. He took it really hard, and I'm like, I'm proud of that. Like, I want that.
I seriously thought there was times where I'd go home to my girlfriend, and like I'd be like, I don't know how long I'm gonna have here. Like, he's gonna turn around and he's gonna tell me that I'm not capable of doing this, and I don't know if I am. And he's over here talking me off the ledge every single day, like, "Mikey, you're doing fine. You're doing fine. Like, everything's okay. Like, just focus a little bit here and do this a little different here." And man, it was nerve-wracking, but we did it, man. We made it through the holiday season.
We did. That was a struggle. Eventually the Uniber kind of tapered off, and relationships devolved a little bit over a lot of things going on as startup businesses go, which are a high stress environment. We decided we were going to move our shop to our own space, and we went out and got a little, 900 square foot studio right next to JoJo's tattoo shop up on Government Way. And we only spent a year there before we realized when I was not divided with Univer stuff and I was giving my full attention to craft and lore, it was growing so fast that we couldn't fit into that spot anymore. And that was when we moved into our current location, which is about 2,000 square feet.
In fact, the thumbnail of the video that you guys are watching now, the live stream, is of that.
That first studio, so the thumbnail on this live, it was me when we first built that sign. which we love. It's kind of a statement of our first when we got our own.
It was a big moment for us, man.
Yeah,
I remember
we could roll in. We had keys to our own shop. It was all craft and lore. No, it was good. We ran the Mountain Belt Kickstarter shortly after that,
and we started the beginning of Falkland started in that shop too.
Did,
we started designing the pack and
the
roll top pack, and there were a lot of good memories in that shop, man. But it was extremely limited, you know.
It's small.
Only one of us could be working on the bench at a time, pretty much.
Yeah, if you had to go down one side, the other guy had to go around the other side. Our main workbench just took up the entire workshop.
But it was ours.
Yeah.
And the most important thing is we had room for a kegerator, and so
that was
that was the most important addition to the shop.
And it was a quaint little old wood building with a boardwalk and covered patio, and it looked great. But anyways, it was good.
Once he had made the decision to focus his time back on craft and lore full time, we had already had a constant amount of orders kind of start to slowly roll in over time because people were starting to find us online, and the Instagram was kind of catching up, and we were getting more followers, and the first Kickstarter was successful and all this. And once he had doubled down, which was a tough decision to make, but he did. And once he did that, we pushed the marketing hard, and we started to realize that, you know, to try to find this balance of being able to make things and push the marketing in a specific way to continue to grow the business. And it was a hard balance to find, man, because you had kids at home, a family at home, and you know, it was balancing 2 jobs and then deciding to leave a job and do craft and lore. Like, it was a lot at that time, but we again somehow made it out of that one unscathed. Also at that time too, one of the more important things is somebody snuck in the DMs.
Yeah. So I get Douglas over here,
the master of sliding into DMs.
Yeah, he would slide in my DMs.
DM master,
and he was a fanboy, and we get those every now and then. So we're always like, yeah, we appreciate everything, and he ended up calling the brand of the hotline, or not the hotline. Well, it is a hotline for you.
1-800.
Yeah, the phone number, and we ended up discussing this idea that he could come out and just spend a week doing, because he was playing with leathercraft and wanted to mess around with it. And I always give that kind of response a big fat no. I don't know you. I don't know anything about you. But we ended up talking a little bit more and finding out like what we had in common, where our common ground was. And man, he was like 12 at the time.
We had to have his parents' permission to be able to even chat with him.
Oh, dear.
Okay.
I was a junior in college at the time.
Oh. I was at 14.
I was I was a junior in college, and I found craft and lore on Tumblr, actually, which is funny because that's what you were talking about.
Which photo did you find?
There was the photo of you sitting next to Odin, looking over the outlook at a lake when you went with.
Is that the one on our about page right now?
Yes.
Okay, where it's just me and Odin on a mountaintop looking through.
Yeah. So it was that photo.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the Cabinet Wilderness in Montana.
Okay.
Yeah, we did some overnighters.
The cabinets are gorgeous, man.
Yeah, so I followed Craft and Lore because of the photography on Tumblr, and ended up buying a
dude, talk about limited editions. You got it on you?
Yeah, I do. It's a key. What do you even call it?
I think I called it a key fob.
It's a key fob, yeah.
And it was the leftover mountain belt strips, and it was a way for people to buy a little keychain that gave them an idea of what our mountain belt was, how serious it was.
And this is it. This is the original one.
Yeah,
and it's serious.
Dude, I have carried this on my keychain every single day since. I also lost it under snow for an entire winter and found it in the spring. Still carrying
Still rolling.
Nice.
Still carrying it. So
good,
yeah.
Good save.
I bought that. I bought a port wallet, and then I begged over a series of 5 or 6 emails, a few phone calls.
Once I found that we had some common ground, I said, okay, a week, come on out. We'll put you to work and kind of feel it out. And
well, he's going, Mike, dude, what should we do? What do you think? What do you think about it? And I'm like, do it. I mean, you're the one talking to him. Do it if you want to do it, man. He's like, I don't know. Do we have time? And I'm like, well, here's what you do. You need to tell him that we can't entertain him for the whole time he's here, and he's got to kind of figure out his own things to do and all this stuff. We're kind of giving these stipulations. And then he came. Everything was cool. We were teaching him
They were in the
leatherworking
old
stuff.
shop. We were in the old shop too. The first time I came out, the first apprenticeship was in the old
The
shop.
tiny shop, yeah.
Using that old, the old press and hand dyeing and oh man.
How long was it before the first week that you came out to the second week? And he's coming out from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yeah, so
he was flying out.
The first week was the end of July into the beginning of August of 2016.
Yeah.
2016. So that was the first one, and then I came back to help out with, and that was on the tail end of actually the mountain belt Kickstarter. We were still working on through the last of the mountain belts. We were shipping out the last of the mountain belts at that time, and then
I remember that $300.
That was a lot of belts, man.
Yeah.
That was hard.
Oh yeah, I walk in and their little tiny shop, and the front is there's just no front. It's just mountain belt leather.
We had kind of a counter space we could walk in and see, but we filled it up with just rolls of mountain belt hide, and there was no more front.
They pull up in a truck and they pull out a pallet jack,
pallets,
and they pull out a pallet full of the leather for the mountain belts, and it's so much leather they can't fit the pallet inside the shop, let alone barely fit all the leather inside the front of the shop. Like it was quite the sight, I'm sure.
But yeah, so that was in July and August, and then I came out again the first week of December or so, second week of December of 2016 as well, and
that was right as we were moving into this shop, because I remember I was starting to remodel and tear down walls and do stuff in here, and I feel like you came up a couple times.
When we were finishing up the mountain belt Kickstarter on the first one, you had just like signed the papers on this, because we came here with your dad. That's when I was up in the ceiling.
That's right.
This was the first one.
Yeah.
So we were working on this, but yeah, and then I came back in December, and it was like everything was kind of moved in here, and they were doing renovations and whatnot. So yeah, I helped out with holiday orders during December, and
Which was
yeah,
bonkers, yeah.
which was a lot of fun. And then 6 months later, in April of 2017, over an Xbox conversation. We were playing Call of Duty, and over an Xbox conversation, we decided that we made it work. We made it happen.
It was a struggle, and it was us figuring out how can we give this kid a job, how can we keep him employed, how can we bring him to a new area.
And it was like 5 or 6 weeks later, and I was moved out here.
Yeah.
It was really fast.
So Mikey drives his ass all the way to
Cincinnati. Well, you'll get there.
He'll get there. Story.
You'll get there.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, yeah. So we decided that I was coming out.
I would have never done that.
I know you wouldn't have. I know you wouldn't have.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry.
Yeah, so I decided I'm coming out, and I was crashing with Mike at the time. That was the plan, because Mike's a generous guy.
Oh.
Mike's the reason that it even happened in the first place.
Geez.
Mike's generosity,
correct,
allowing me to live with him. Even the story I'm about to tell about him coming out.
Michael, any regrets? Would you like to admit your regrets?
It's his fault. Is really the thing we should say.
You owe me an apology.
Okay.
For bringing this a-hole here.
And anyway, yeah. So it's a 39-hour drive, and I was really excited to make that in my tiny little Honda Civic alone.
Oh man. Damn.
Not really. Mike volunteered to fly out and drive with me. So Mike caught a flight.
Well, I had many experiences of driving cross country or semi cross country, and it's tough. Like it's defeating, man. It takes a lot out of you just to do that. And I know you'd been on trips and stuff before, but I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, you got this young kid that he's done some driving, I'm sure, but across the country, like I don't know, that's a lot. It would take 4 or 5 days if I were to do it by myself. And
you were 20, right?
I was 20. Yeah, I was
20. We were racing the clock. We were trying to get back here to the shop by the time we were hosting an event here.
We had Day of May.
Day of May.
Remember? We had 2 days. We had 2 days.
We had to make it happen.
So,
oh man.
So
I forgot about that detail.
I figured to take the stress off of him and his family, and understanding if I were in the position, I was like, okay, here's a battle plan. How about I come out to Cincinnati and we just double team this thing? Like we just drive in shifts, and we'll get home.
Yeah,
we'll get home in one piece. Yeah. And I took it as an adventure. I'm like, shit, this sounds like tons of fun. So
it was awesome, man. We woke up the next day, drove to Indianapolis, had lunch, and then we drove straight through to Sioux Falls. and had some good times in Sioux Falls.
The
bought
Airbnb.
a bottle of whiskey. Almost broke into a Japanese man's house.
Yeah.
It was great.
Oh my goodness.
And
Airbnb experience from hell, and Douglas slept on an air mattress, and we're driving so much. It's on hour 19, and we're driving through Sioux Falls, and if you've never been there, there's a butcher plant there right off the main highway.
Man, I forgot about that.
And it is the most heinous smell you've ever smelled in your entire life. It's like 10 miles off of the highway.
Yeah.
But it's so bad that you literally, and I'm fine with usually with bad smells and things like that. Now this is on a different level. This fills the whole car.
We were gagging in the car.
Plus the highway there. If anyone's from South Dakota, bless y'all, because the highway's 80 miles an hour there is the speed limit. And let me tell you, at 2 o'clock in the morning, there are dudes in lifted trucks doing 95 miles on the highway, and we're on hour 19, and I'm holding the wheel, and I'm looking at...
We're in this tiny little Civic, like...
I'm looking at him like, I can't go any faster, dude. I'm going 60. I'm going 60. It's hour 19.
Oh, man.
But
Anyway,
I was like, I need a drink, so we stopped at a gas station and bought some liquor, and it was a rough night.
But we got him here right around that same time, and you guys don't see him much on camera. But I want to bring Tyler in on some show here. Tyler's our guy. He runs the back camera, and I might have to boot you out or bump us over.
I'll just
come over and hang out, Tyler. Guys, Tyler does so much, and Tyler came in right around the same time that Douglas was coming in. We got room here. We got room.
I think so.
Let's make it tight. So he doesn't show up on the camera much. He's normally behind the scenes. He's working our sewing machine. So your Falkland bags, your DOP kits, your folk style totes. But not only that, he is hand sewing all the wallets, all the NATO straps. In fact, right now, Tyler's probably our primary maker.
He is, yeah. I was going to mention that.
He makes the bulk of our gear.
Once the business grew large enough, Nathaniel and I had to kind of split roles because it had gotten too much for me to be a primary maker, to do most of it myself. And so Ty kind of took over as a secondary, and then now it's not the primary. So he does an incredible job around here. Besides the machine sewing, organization wise, like as we grew, we're not the very best at organizing.
We're
things.
handsome, but we're not smart.
So smart. The workflow increases, the organization, attention to detail. The guy kills it every time. So we're very, very happy to have him. He's also one of my oldest friends. I've known him since he was, literally newborn. So
literally since I was born.
Yeah.
When he was 4 years old, he was my next door neighbor, and he knew my brother, and was there when I was born.
Yeah. His brother was my best friend growing up, and Tyler is like family to me. He's like a younger brother, so it was cool to bring him onto the team and have him here as an integral part. So
yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, so the way that kind of happened too is I was working oil changes. I had done a lot of stuff in my life, different like things like structural painting and tech stuff, and I was doing oil changes, hating my life as you do when you do oil changes. People will know about that. And then I simultaneously I had kind of lost touch with Mike here, and I wanted to like keep more in touch with him.
Mm-hmm.
And I came in here and I just started hanging out, and they were like, "Hey, if you want to stitch some wallets," and I was like, "Okay." And I stitched one for myself first, is what I did, and then I started stitching more of them, and they were like, "Okay, if you wanted to help out around here a little bit." So I was working 60-hour weeks doing oil changes, and then decided, that's just, I needed something else to do. So I kept coming in, and then they were like, "Hey, we need somebody to do bags." And
we really needed somebody to do bags. Yeah. We really needed it.
We wanted to figure out how we could put him in the business, and he had so many skills to be turning a wrench and changing oil filters. In fact, this guy, if you gave him a make and model a car, he could probably tell you exactly what filter it had. I mean, he's just so talented and so skilled, and his mind is just so amazing. But man, he would come in, and this is the thing. If you come in and you're going to come in and hang out with us frequently, we have a rule. Like, if you're gonna be in here, you're gonna be sewing.
Hang out, drink with us, but you're also stitching the wallet while you do.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just the cost of hanging out. And so he would come in, and I'd be like, all right, Tyler, I got these like 5 things I want you to do, you know, and he'd be like, all right, cool, and he'd just start sewing stuff up. Pretty soon we can't get rid of them.
Yeah. Well, you know what? The thing about Tyler was his attention to detail is atrocious. It's over the top. Like, it's too much. We're like, Tyler, dial it back, dude. It's absurd. Knock it off.
He loves it though.
Yeah. So even machine stitching, like machine sewing, he is just so articulate with every stitch placement.
He comes up to us and he goes, I really messed this one up, man. I don't know. And he brings it to us and we're like looking over every stitch and we're like, what are you talking about, dude?
You're batting 100, dude.
Yeah.
Don't.
Over 100.
Yeah.
So Chad's mentioned this before too on Instagram, but I actually have OCD. Somebody online thought it was a joke when he mentioned it.
Oh yeah, we're not supposed to joke about OCD because it's a real thing.
Yes.
But we still joke about Tyler's.
I actually have it, and to their credit, they appreciate the benefits of it. It's a lot more serious and it has a lot of negative things in with it, but they deal with that.
It's like a superpower.
They deal with that on a daily basis, and I thank them for it. But yeah, it was one of those things where it's tough to do those kind of bags. It's tough to machine sew because when you're a machine sewer, you make dozens of mistakes. They're always in there, and it is really hard to just take that in and just be like, yep, this bag has 50, 60 mistakes on it that are very minor, and nobody will notice them, but I remember them. And it is tough to do that, but that's one of the things that they appreciated about me. So
we love your we love that attention to detail.
Well, he makes all of us better makers and better at what we do too, because he picks out the small stuff. Yeah. And
when he comes and nitpicks us about stuff, we're like, all right, like take it back.
But seriously though, but it keeps me on my toes because sometimes I'm like, it's all right. Guy's like, no,
we're gonna let it slide.
I'm not doing that. No, sorry.
No.
All right.
On the flip side of that, they have to deal with all my annoyances. Chad over here just wants to beat me over the head with things.
It's a give and take. You know what I love about Tyler is we all roast each other in that good, healthy relationship kind of way. Where
healthy?
We find where your weaknesses is, and then we just
mostly
poke it. Tyler's really good about poking me at my weaknesses. So he brings out he's like the super.
His thing is it's real. He's real quiet. But he's over there stirring up a cauldron of just badness.
When he
just ready to dump it.
And he's just
your heart. It's bad. Yeah.
He's throwing a doozy at you. Just give him a couple seconds.
I'm gonna have to go see my therapist a little bit. But no, we love Ty. He's been a great fit. In fact, a lot of the tech and a lot of the improvements just to our live stream is Tyler. What you don't see behind the camera is the dual monitor. Technological spider web of cords. And, yeah, you can command a small skirmish in the Middle East with what he's got going on back there. But a lot of that's Tyler's own expertise and his own creation. So we're grateful for all of that. He doesn't get enough camera time, which he probably doesn't care. He doesn't really like to be on cameras, but I'm glad he actually came out to this one. So Tyler, you're the man. He's a big part of Craft and Lore and what makes it what it is.
Well, and Falkland, he was. In case you guys don't understand,
he was. Falkland.
In case you guys don't understand, Tyler was Falkland.
We should talk about Falkland. Let's talk about Falkland.
Yeah, so that's one thing to mention too. Is with Falkland, a lot of people ask us like, where are the bags? Part of that is you may have noticed that we've been getting a lot more Craft and Lore orders out. A lot more, and part of that is from the organization in the back room. Our shipping stations, our making, everything is like a lot more fine-tuned to where we can get you more product while still keeping like the same handmade quality in there and the same durability in there. But the unfortunate thing about that is because it takes literally all of me and Mike's time, unfortunately Falkland has to take a back seat at that.
So the problem with Falkland is that everything that we try to do with it is over the top, absurd. No other companies would use the canvas weight.
In their own words, too. We've had multiple companies ask us how the hell we do it.
Yeah, like it's absurd. They laugh that we're using the canvas weight that we use.
Or leather weights, too.
And all of it is, like, it's absurd. Like, Tyler is over there wrestling a kraken And it's just him trying to make a roll top because that canvas is so thick that if you're going to fold it, if you're going to hem it, and you're going to get that needle to hit, like the weave on it is so gnarly that it's even steering the needle in ways, which gives Tyler's OCD a little bit of a tick. But it's that gnarly of a canvas. But that was what we wanted. We wanted that brand to be...
when people picked it up,
they were like, "What is this monster?"
And we experienced that too. When we're at shows, when we're doing in-person shows, art fairs, and trade shows, when someone picks up one of those bags, their face is hilarious. They're like,
"Why would you do so big? What are you?
Yeah, what are you doing? Like, this is ridiculous."
And we're like, "We don't know, but we wanted that." And so it was a monster. Tyler's tackled it. He was a perfectionist with it. We have had other sewers. We've had, and I've attempted it. I've had other friends attempt it. But Tyler was the one that like cared the most. Too much. We're like, okay, you can dial some care back.
Well, I mean, it's even to the point when we're cutting canvas. I go in there as kind of like the second senior maker here at the company, and I go in there and I feel like a toddler helping Tyler out because he's like, okay, listen, I need a rectangle, but not only a rectangle. I need it to have a two stitch, 2 weave deviation at most. And if it's over 2 weaves, throw it in the trash. I don't want it.
Can you imagine any other textile worker like having that kind of a tolerance?
And that's a big thing too. When we did the roll top Kickstarter, Douglas was a huge part of that. He did like all the prep work and everything for that. So he was privy to the whole staying on perfectly while cutting things.
Honestly, though, yeah, I mean, he was very specific on what he wanted. But how many bags did we screw up and have to throw out?
At most, like 1 or 2.
Like one in the whole Kickstarter. I mean,
what?
You're
both fired.
Yeah, we didn't know about that. We didn't know about that. So you guys are out.
The focus on detail allows us to not only create things to a higher standard, but more consistency in creating things that are good and are to our standards, so that we don't have to throw out every other one because we didn't take enough time making it perfect when we were actually putting it together. So.
That was one of my favorite memories, though, guys. It's like holiday 2 years ago, 2018 when we did that Kickstarter?
I think so, yeah.
It's 2018 holiday, and we're all sitting here with Craft and Lore holiday orders at an all-time high that year. And then we're also staring down this Kickstarter fulfillment for these bags. And we were here till like 10 o'clock at night on some nights.
A lot of long hours,
That was fun.
And
my back still hurts.
we're there. I'm in the back room punching rivets by hand with a hammer and tool and nipping and rounding and doing all this stuff. And we got a guy turning bags inside out. And we got a guy packing bags and boxes and making sure every order's correct to what they ordered. And man, we were right down to the wire. Do you remember that?
We had to. I mean, if you think about it, like even just one piece of the bag, or each back strap. There's actually a time lapse of me up in the front room, and I rivet. I pounded the rivets on every single one for
all
the
the
whole
shoulder
Kickstarter.
straps. It's the one where
it's like 10 o'clock at night. It's dark outside. It's snowy, and I'm just like, we're up
and
there.
he's like, I got nothing left, man. I don't know.
His hands were raw, and he
There's
needed
a
a
picture
hug.
of me, like,
he was like so
this.
sad by the end of the day, and I'm like,
You
just
did good,
done.
buddy. I'll hold you. But
It hurt my tingers.
We get the bags done the next day, and we're packing them, and we're loading them inside.
Yes.
We're loading them inside of his van, and I just remember like, okay, guys, we got to get to the USPS, the Postal Service place by 5 o'clock, or else
they're not
going out in time.
Yeah.
They're not going out in time. And so we're packing and packing and packing, and we got all hands on deck.
I have a huge van, and it was Max.
Yeah. And we're packing all these boxes, and we drive all the way out there, and I look up on Google, and I'm like, oh, crap, the one nearby us is closed. We'll have to go to the one up in one town over. Okay, no problem. We drive over there, and they're closed, too.
Yeah.
But it's all about who you know. And we had our gal Lexi, who was our mail pickup gal for a long time, and she recognized us right away. And she goes, normally we wouldn't receive, but she said, I'll receive for you guys.
Yeah. We were half an hour.
Lexi, you saved us.
We were a half an hour late to their receiving area on the back, and we drove around, and she just happened to look over, and she's like, oh, hey, guys. And she wasn't even our carrier anymore. She was our carrier.
It had been a while.
She was our carrier at our previous store 2 years prior.
Yeah.
And she looked at us and she took all those packages from us, like 50 of them.
So anyone that got a roll top from Kickstarter and they got it in time for Christmas, thank Lexi. She made that happen.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. That was one of those, like, we were literally to the minute, to the second. Like,
yeah.
That was a great story, man. I love that one.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's the team, and that's kind of where we have been at.
All right, I'm gonna duck out.
Cool. Go ahead and take
Thanks,
over
Ty.
the command again. Thank you, Ty.
Space behind you.
Oh, yeah. Get back there. Oh, let's talk about giveaway stuff. I'm sure you guys are bored of us talking about ourselves here. The brand has pretty much kind of cruised since then.
Some people in the chat have already figured out a...
Oh, did you see something?
Yeah, did anybody...
Oh, is there something back there?
What is this?
What is it?
Okay, so let me explain what's going on here.
What is going on,
We
Michael?
finally received our order of this leather. It's been on a ship for like the last 2 months
It's been on a barge coming from Italy
because of the
all 2020.
because of COVID. They could not air freight it, so it was been on a barge, lost at sea. It's finally in the shop as of 3 p.m. today. All of the guys and gals that pre-ordered this leather and already have orders, your orders are going to be filled as soon as possible. We will have these babies out as fast as we can possibly make them. Now, the caveat, there's extra leather. There's a small amount of extra leather.
Oh.
And if you're fast, I believe, if Tyler can confirm, it's accessible to buy right now. Tyler just gave me the thumbs up.
No.
There is a small amount of pre-orders available on the website right now for Black Cherry and a few of the designs.
Filthy lies. Don't listen to him.
Go buy.
Don't look at our
In
website.
fact, Jonathan Gonzalez here already... Oh, no, wait.
Northwestward. Okay, that's a good idea. I like that.
Andrew Babbitt just got a port wallet out of that
Lies.
leather. So
Also
he's
lies.
one of the first ones. So if you're
There it is.
interested, don't turn off the stream. Go to a computer and order it so you can stay and hang out.
You
and
guys,
listen to us talk.
you'll never get it. That's all you need to know. You can't have it.
Move fast. Pre-order customers, they're coming to you priority. Don't worry, you guys have been waiting for 2 months now. So
We've been waiting longer.
yeah, we've been waiting longer than that.
We've been waiting longer.
Go now. Limited quantities, guys. So go get those purchases in now. Thank you for your patience. Seriously, this was a really weird thing for us to do. We don't normally do a pre-order like this, and we wanted to do it for you guys that missed out on the first batch. So
Black Ghost is probably Black Cherry Ghost, one of the most amazing leathers we've gotten our hands on as far as the color scheme, the way the black wax works with the red. Oh man, I feel like out of all of our limited runs, it has been extremely the most in demand, people begging and pleading for it.
yeah.
And we would love to have gotten more a long time ago because of the amount of demand for it.
But I love the tannery, how they really take pride in this leather, man. I contacted them personally, and they just told me basically the same thing Nathaniel did when I contacted him. You just gotta wait. Sucks for you, dude. So, so that's where we are. Beside that, we appreciate your guys' patience, and we'll have these wallets out. I don't know what the timeline will be in a week or two. So
whatever the wait time is, it's worth it. So I'd tell you to just get on, and if you have any doubts, and even if you bought it just to resell it, it'll go. Anyways, Black Cherry Ghost, amazing leather. Get it. It's open on the site right now. You guys are the first to know. We have not advertised it yet. We will be in the next day or so. So I'd tell you, get on it right now.
Yep, because it's not going to last very long.
All right, so now that they know Black Cherry Ghost, they know.
Last thing about the Black Cherry Ghost too, you guys are getting the announcement right here on YouTube for tuning in. So you have the first access to these quantities. So it pays to actually watch these YouTube episodes.
And we're shipping them in the order received.
Correct.
So we have a bunch of pre-orders currently on. They are getting first dibs. So if you already have a pre-order in, just know that you're getting yours first. That's fair.
We're hoping the latest on those ones that are already pre-ordered by Tuesday is shipped out.
Best case scenario, Tuesday for anyone that already has a pre-order. Otherwise, sometime next week, you guys should be getting them. So all of you should be stoked.
Also, new to the live stream, aside from all that stuff, is there is a code hidden somewhere within.
If you can't find the coupon code,
if you
can't find it, then
it's really well hidden.
We
it
can't
would be
help
really difficult for
you. You
to
have
find
deeper problems.
There's a coupon code live, and I'm going to mention it for anybody that watches the live stream after it's recorded and no longer live. It's only going to be live, for the stream plus a little bit. Nathaniel, what are you thinking on that?
Turn it off late tonight.
The coupon ends at 6 p.m., so an hour after this ends. So that's Pacific Standard Time. So you better get it now, or at least within an hour.
If you want to get that ghost order in and anything else, I don't know if that pertains to the ghost or not.
It does not. Ghost, unfortunately, because it's limited, it's not coupon ready. But if you wanted anything else, that coupon would apply.
And that's a keen 15% if you can read the code wherever it is.
We don't know, yeah. Like it's not on a bright white piece of paper somewhere.
Oh, goodness.
Cool. So I think it's time to reward these guys.
Okay, let's do giveaway because we're at, oh man, it's almost 5. We got 10 minutes.
Well, we got
time.
We got
some
as much
time.
We got as much time as
We're
we
going
need.
late.
All right, well, let's, what do you want to do first?
I'm giving away a wallet, dude.
All right. Who knows the giveaway game? It's really complicated.
J.R. Sanks knows the giveaway.
You gotta know.
J.R. Saint's been doing
You gotta
this.
know trigonometry and other advanced mathematics. Basically, I'm gonna give you a range of numbers. You are gonna type in that number, and if you're correct, you win. If you're incorrect, you're a total loser. So tell your significant other I said that. Don't tell them that.
One note, real fast, someone just mentioned in comments, is in order to get the code, they had to disable chat. It is at the lower part of the screen here below my hand. I'm not going to say exactly where.
It's not exactly right
it's
here.
It's not right
Don't
there.
Look right there. Yeah.
So it's available for another hour and 9 minutes.
We're giving you 15% off. Figure it out or don't get 15% off. All right? It's not on us. It's on you.
All right.
Let's do a number here.
So we're giving away this nice, what is this? Natural veg tan.
Dude.
Latigo leather from Wicket and Craig. Amazing patina potential. This is technically a second for a very small reason that I won't point out. But you guys get this thing, and it is just an exquisite wallet. Like, don't you love this leather?
Even just having a Latigo version of this vegetable tan, just the front face of this wallet has character. I mean, you can see detail and veins that you couldn't see in normal vegetable tan, and it just adds to the character later on because you're gonna get differences in color. It's not gonna be all smooth and lame. You're gonna get that nice character with the hide makeup from the cow a little bit more prevalent.
All right, we're gonna start the giveaway here. Tyler is the all father, and he will see who gave the winning number first. So whatever he says goes. Don't argue with him. It doesn't go well for you. I'm punching in the numbers now. So whoever punches in the right number that is in between this wins honors, luxuries, privileges.
Sir Biohacker, we just finished out the batch of mountain belts that were on order today. So excited for you to get that. Let us know what you think. Always leave a review. It helps us the most, more than anything else. A review on the website. Positive, negative, medium, whatever it might be. Just let us know how we did.
It's already been gotten.
Whoa. All right. End.
All right, stop.
End. Wow, that was fast. Good job, guys.
Tell me it wasn't J.R. Sanks.
It was not.
Stop punching in numbers, guys, because you will get shadow banned by YouTube if you type in too many.
The giveaway is ended. We're going to do another one right now, but let me call out this winner here.
I just posted in chat.
Okay. Chat got dumped far away. Dimitri. All right, dude. All right. Dimitri, you got a natural veg tan port wallet. This is from Wicket and Craig's new Latigo natural leather. Amazing stuff. It's gonna patina. This is one of our new favorites, man. It is. Oh, damn it! You're lucky. you are a lucky.
Go ahead and give him a show, dude.
Oh, just yeah. You know what? You're gonna make everyone else feel bad that they can't have this.
We don't have autofocus on.
No autofocus. It's on the face. Yeah.
No autofocus.
That's all right. That's all right.
You know what? Go to the website and look.
Yeah.
You won't really see it. But Dimitri, if you want that, you got to do work. Are you ready to work?
It's a lot of work.
It's really hard. You have to type in craftandlore.com, go to our website, use the contact page. You got to give your name. You got to tell us what you won, which is a natural port wallet. And you got to say that you won it. Otherwise, we're just gonna keep it and use it for us.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be happy.
Yeah.
And live our best lives.
And make sure that address is correct.
You better make sure your shipping address is correct, or we're gonna ship it to
craftandlore.com. Hit the contact form. Get that address, the first name, last name, shipping address in there. What you won from the stream. Otherwise, he gets it or he gets it.
I'll take it.
And
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
All right. Next giveaway. What is it, Mike?
I want to do. Well, wait a second. We can't give away. We can't give away everything.
Don't want to give them
now.
Okay. All right.
I want to do a quick QA because I've seen some great questions in here, guys. Can we answer a couple of these questions?
There's a question I want you to answer, Michael. A gentleman, I don't know if he's still here, was asking his German wife wants to know what Apfelweizen is.
Okay.
This is what Mike brews for us.
So it's got a complicated history, and I'll keep it short. I am part of a brewer association, and I had been perusing forums to try to find a gluten-free beer, and had come across this thing called Apfelweizen, and I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting because I like Hefeweizen, great beer. And so I came across this recipe, and it was literally a part of a book. And this guy had screenshotted the book, and this recipe was in a book. And I don't know what its origins are. I don't know how old it is, but it is a German apple beer. So it's been around for a long time. I know that because the book was pretty decrepit. And basically, it's kind of a cider, but not a cider, and it's kind of a beer, but not a beer.
The champagne yeast, is that right?
Well, you can't give away trade secrets.
Don't tell all
now.
the secrets.
Thanks. I did change the recipe to make it my own a little bit. I do use the champagne yeast because it ferments. You already gave it away, dude. It's already out there. It ferments at a very high attenuation, and what that means is it takes a lot of the sugar out of the beverage and transforms that into alcohol. So
it's very dry.
It's very dry.
It's like almost like an apple beer, and you can have it's like drinking Coors Light where you can have like 1 or 12, except it's like almost 10% the way Mike makes it. So you only need like 2, and it'll get you where you're going.
And also, Mike is explaining it in the plebe way. He is condescending in vocabulary. He would be full.
You don't even need to nerd out. I'm not
hyper floccumentation.
Flocculation.
Good word.
All of it, dude. Mike's a beer genius.
Writes notes.
How old do you think that recipe is, Michael?
Well, the book was published in 1908, but I have no clue how old the recipe is. Supposedly, it's a recipe that was found out by accident. So the story goes inside the novel, and don't ask me what the novel was called because I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know if I ever knew, but it was literally just a screenshot of a book. But the story goes that the apples were left inside of a some sort of container, cask, or otherwise, and they ended up fermenting. And this guy was like, "I'm onto this. Like,
yeah,
you can drink this. Like, if you drink this water, it gets you drunk." So, anyhow, it's kind of an interesting story. The forum post for it no longer is available because I think this guy ended up hiding the secrets. But
Charlie Holmes is a gentleman asking in comments, and he wants the recipe, but I don't know that you're gonna get it, Charlie.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah. If we really like you, Mike might send it, but you'll have to email him, slide into his DMs.
We'll send you a growler. You can try to reverse engineer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody that comes to the shop, we do have a kegerator, and sometimes it's on tap, sometimes it's not. So ask for it. Okay, cool. That was the Apfelweizen.
What other good questions we got?
We had one asking about Nick's boots. Some guy was trying to get us to sell him on Nick's boots. The long and short of it is, man, you just cannot get a better boot experience. There just isn't one.
There's no factory-made boot that's going to compare with a handmade boot. We're talking it's measured to your foot exactly. The Knicks guys are going to make you feel insecure because they're going to tell you everything wrong or weird about your foot because they're going to be so wrapped into it. Unlike any factory footwear you ever get. But you're handmade, you're American, there's heritage involved. I mean, do I have to sell you on American-made wallet versus, overseas-made wallet? The product sells itself. You often won't know until you have it strapped to your foot. So it's kind of like one of those things where you'll either arrive there on your own or on your own volition or not. But talk to anyone who's wearing them. What do they say? Are you going to find them that say, no, go back to the overseas made, factory made?
Well, I think they speak for themselves in a lot of ways too, like where, firemen trust these boots to march through literal flames, char, hot coals and whatnot. And if they can hold up to that type of environment, being leather, being rubber, being these different things, that speaks for itself, in my opinion. Like when you find out these guys are literally marching through these California fires and stuff of these things, like it's an incredible boot. When you go there and you're in the showroom and you look left and you literally see guys making the boots by hand. Yeah. It's incredible. It's incredible, and it's admiring. Like I watch these guys do this stuff, and I'm like, I couldn't do this.
I want to quit Craft and Lore and go make boots at Nick's Boots. I would love to.
No,
do
you
that.
don't.
No, you don't.
Okay, well, for a little while until I'm like, all right, this is too tough, and I want to go back to drinking whiskey on
3 hours
YouTube
of
Live.
making boots.
They're awesome,
But they're badasses for sure.
The leather they select too. You're talking all premium tanneries from the U.S. It's just from start to finish. It's one of the coolest experiences I've ever had with boots or footwear for that matter. I've never had a piece of footwear fit better than those boots that I got from Nick's. So that's my spiel.
Jeff, we'll re-go over the rules on how the number guessing game goes for our next giveaway. But it's basically you just throw a number up and you might get it. It's really based on luck. There's no skill involved.
Make leather Glock mags.
Adam Robbins is asking a question about Nick's boots. Which is the best for daily casual wear? Everyone's different. It's like a wallet. Like we all have different needs for a wallet. We all have different needs for a boot. I actually have been I strapped on their Travelers they sent me, which is similar to the 877 mock toe, but it's not a mock toe. It's just that really soft sole.
It's the same as a Red Wing round toe with a little bit thicker of a sole.
There you go.
If that helps. Or the Rover for Red Wing.
Yeah. So
it's just a
depending on
more
what you're
well-made
doing.
version.
Like what are you doing? Honestly, if you do a lot of things and I do a lot of things, you almost need a different boot for a different task. It's hard to have one that fits all the needs. If there was one that fit all the needs, I would say the task boot. That's literally like what was the idea behind the task
But
boot.
If you work on concrete all day,
it's a hard sole.
Hard soles aren't going to be comfortable. So.
Put an insert in it.
Yeah.
Like you're going to want the insert. But if you're
they
kicking
do have options for inserts there.
They do
as well.
Yeah.
But they will take that into account on your foot measurement. So if you get the task boot and you want
let them know ahead
insert,
of time.
They have to know because they're building that to your foot and they need to account for that. Otherwise, I go in between. Hunting season, I'm wearing their Builder Pros. I beeswaxed them to waterproof them because it's wet out here. I'm tromping through a lot of water and I'm soaked by the end of a hunting day. At least I keep my feet mostly dry by beeswaxing them. Otherwise, when I'm in the shop, if I know I'm standing up on concrete, I'll wear the Travelers. If I'm kind of sitting down and getting up and sitting down and getting up, I'll wear my task boots just because I love the look.
Well, and Adam was talking about he works behind a desk, so the task boot was just that the formality of the flat toe box, but we added the little what do they call that? The
toe cap.
The toe cap.
Yeah.
The toe cap is just that added little feature. I feel like it gives the boot dimension. It gives it kind of a hard look, and I don't know. I love the toe cap. I don't know if I could do a boot without it, but maybe the mock toe, obviously, because the mock toe's got the stitching running along the edge. But anyhow,
all right.
Someone asked. Make leather Glock mags.
Yeah, someone asked about Glock mags. We're not doing anything gun related at the moment.
Glocks are ugly.
Just wrap it.
Don't listen to this guy. He's just mad.
Glocks are ugly. I don't care.
I don't think Douglas
functionality. It's all there, but you know what? Like,
I think his Glock's one of the.
We want to think because it's pretty first, and then we want to make sure it actually works. So it's like why did we marry our wives? Because they were pretty first, and then we find out if they can cook.
I now have the prettiest everyday carry pistol in
do have a pretty
this
Glock,
office.
Your Glock, okay.
I won't show
the Glock slide you got is pretty incredible.
Follow me on Salvage Zone, you might get a peek.
All right, so
of my Glock.
How do we?
That didn't sound any better.
Yeah, it just made it worse. The question is, how do we avoid low ballers? The thing is we have people. I answer most of the customer inquiries that come in, and you get all types. You get people that are fervorous and love the brand or love the idea of the brand or that know the quality, and you get people on the other side of the spectrum that want free things or discounted things or want me to sell a product to them. It happens, and honestly, you kind of approach them the same way. I'm always very, very thankful for every single person that takes the time to buy a product, use the product, and then give us feedback. That's positive and negative, whatever it might be. It's great. I love feedback. And we've had feedback over the years where people offer their ideas of how we can improve a product or make it better in some way or whatever it might be, or that it's just not for them. I get those every day, and we always approach it the same way. For guys that lowball, I don't know how to explain it to them, man. I mean, you can't really discuss to them what it's like running a business or what it's like, paying for all the different things we have to pay for and the price of leather. And there's just no point. So with lowballers, it's just you kind of explain to them like we're an American-made brand. We use high-grade leathers, and we put the time into every detail and read some reviews. Go to YouTube, check out what people have done for video content, and make your own decision. I'm not here to try to sell it to you.
Unfortunately, because of mass production, overseas stuff, it has given people a mindset of what a price should be. In fact, a recent comment on our Instagram page.
I was just about to say that.
And it's the photo of the mountain belt sitting on top of a pair of raw denim from Brave Star. The comment was, "How is the mountain belt any different than this $15 belt I got from another leather maker?" And I quickly fired off materials, obviously, but it's more than materials. It's the fact that any guy that owns a mountain belt right now can call us right away and say, "Hey, I lost a screw post," or "Hey, it's acting weird," or "Hey," and then we're like, "Oh, well, let's square that up right away with you." This guy, if he's got a $15 belt, then let's talk business. And most guys don't know business, but let's talk business. The maker probably bought the strap for $5. And then he might have a $2 buckle on it. So he's got $7 invested, and then he doubles that and to come up with his price of $15 to make some kind of profit. We're talking about a really, really poor piece of leather.
Yeah.
And he can say it's held up great for a year. And, you can find a Walmart belt that will pull up for a year if you just sit at a desk all day and don't do anything. But if you do any kind of real work with leather or in your job, then you're going to blow that belt to smithereens. And that was where the mountain belt was even birthed from, was hard-working dudes out in the North Dakota oil fields that came to me. And they were like, make me the toughest belt you can make. And that's one of the backstories of the mountain belt, is I went on this hunt for the gnarliest leather I could find, and that was where the mountain belt came in.
I don't know if you remember, because when I first started working with you, you asked me, like, what are you rocking for a belt? And you were trying to get me, this is before I even started, I was just helping you before I worked, and you were trying to not sell me, but you were trying to give me a belt as a gift for working with you. And I said, man, I don't do leather belts because I just blow them out. I work too hard. I'm too big of a guy. It's too much stress. And you were like, I don't know, man, like this belt, this is something different, and I didn't believe him. Even though I worked with the leather, even though I made the products, I still didn't believe him, and I put one on. I still have the same damn belt. 6 years later, first time in my life. I've never had a belt that long, ever.
And that was, the mountain belt is one of my favorite products that we make.
If you've ever so much as laid a finger on the mountain belt, then you know why it doesn't cost $15.
Right. You touch it, honestly, it's gnarly.
If you can't tell the difference between a mountain belt and a $15 belt, then
There's
keep wearing your $15 belt. Be our guest.
We should mention the inverse of that. We literally have had some people that come back and say, you know what? It's too much belt.
It
happens.
They can't handle it.
It happens.
Yeah.
And we actually put in a little caveat in the description, a little flavor text that says it's not for the faint of trousers.
Or the faint of heart, or trousers. Sometimes I say things that get me in trouble.
Yeah.
And I always wondered if that's gonna get people offended.
Why can't my $3 Kohl's dainty khaki pants handle this mountain belt? Well, do we need to answer that question for you?
You're in the wrong place. We've told people multiple times you came to the wrong company. You don't know what we are, and we don't know how to explain it to you.
We have the coolest customers, though, because honestly,
we
the
really
backbone of this company is the people that buy the stuff And I'm not just using that as a pitch or frivolously.
Sell 'em, Michael.
It literally is. No, it is. I've got guys and gals that literally I see on Instagram when they see a post going, I'm getting ready to buy a belt. Who should I look at? And then I see people tagging the brand. I see people tagging the products. It's awesome, guys. Like we appreciate that so much. The business is built on that. Honestly, we couldn't do this. We can take all the cool photos in the world, but if it wasn't for people giving us a shot, giving us the feedback, and telling their friends about it, it wouldn't be anything. So
correct. That's where reviews are really important. There's a lot of brands that peddle cheap crap and they photograph it and make it look really excellent. But the difference is what are people actually saying about it at the end of the day, and then after years of wear and tear, what are they saying then? And that's what counts.
That's the thing, honestly. Like today, when you're on social media, especially on Instagram, you're just constantly getting bombarded with sponsored posts of, and the photo's always incredible, and the marketing looks incredible. Their profile's great, and you can
but it
tell
makes you gun shy.
the
Like
media,
you become like,
right?
Can I trust it?
Right, and then you go on their site, and it's it's made in China, made in Bangladesh. Who knows? Who knows where it's made? But these little Instagram-based companies that do this kind of stuff and sell cheap stuff to people and rip people off, those are the ones that are there for a couple weeks, a couple months maybe, and they're gone.
Yeah.
And you see, especially in the leather community, and just makers that have social media profiles and whatnot, a lot of people drop off. And those are the people that either didn't care about their quality, some people just can't handle running a business themselves, or or
Adam just roasted you. It's good.
always, dude.
Look,
An
you gotta
extra
finish this up.
medium shirt. If you want to know where to get medium, ask Selvageson.
This is a normal fitting shirt.
Yeah.
Just to be clear.
Just to be certain here.
Just to be.
But yeah, other
Sorry.
brands drop off. The ones that hang around for the long haul are the ones that you want to buy products from.
And there's a bunch of them out there now. There's just so many cool companies, and this stuff's like art too. We realize immediately when we design a product that it's not going to fit everyone's needs, and we're okay with that. And
Well, part of it is that we're so picky about the materials. If we have any suspicion that it might be crap later on, like we would never even put it out because I would hate it, and I would never want to sell or brand anything with Craft and Lore that I hated.
we have a table of shame that's cut. That there's probably
We're always trying stuff.
There's probably 3 dozen rolls of leather underneath that we would never use to make products that we just prototype with and have fun with.
Yeah,
and it happens. We make risks all the time, ordering new stuff, trying to find
you
new
got to
stuff for you guys.
explore. You're not going to find something new if you're not trying out the new tannery that hit you up. Or
And even when I've been excited about a leather, he'll look at it and he'll tell me, he'll look at me and he'll go, no, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not a good fit.
Dude,
Or the other way around, he'll bring it up and Tyler and I will be like, no, we can't make products out of that, dude.
Material is important. Futon
Yeah,
Entertainment
futon,
brought
yeah.
up the leather itself costs a bit too. Absolutely.
I can
The
tell you that our
Mountain
material is
leather-
more than $15.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, our
$15.
we always joke about when it comes time to restock a leather, like that it's just touching us in inappropriate
Yeah.
ways. Like it's not good, but like you gotta do it. You gotta take the hit. You gotta spend the money because we value what we're putting our name on, and we only want the best. And we've shipped stuff back to tanneries if they had a bad day and something didn't come in and it was a little bit off.
Well, we've made products before too, where the leather looks good, and then we make the product, and we're like, okay, this just doesn't feel right, or
Doesn't feel like
it's
Craft and
80%
Yeah.
there, but I don't feel comfortable about it, and this is a problem or a daily thing for Tyler and I, where, dude, we'll spend the entire time of cutting it out, doing the holes, stitching it up, doing the whole thing, and then you get to the end of it, and you're like, there's this little mark, and we're like, it's not going out.
Yeah.
It's not going out. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, we can't do it. And so the standard hasn't changed since the dinner table, man.
You know what,
since
though?
the very beginning.
What I love is that. What's that?
If anything, it's gone up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How picky our customers are, because a lot of them keep us extra sharp, and we got some guys that they'll nitpick some stuff, and we do have a limit of what's acceptable or not. Leather is an organic material. It's gonna have scars. It's gonna have things, but we're always we're always watching it for any potential flaw in its actual quality,
especially structural.
Man, if you had a wallet and there's cracking that occurs or something, like we switch them out real quick. Like we're not stingy or selfish in any kind of way with that. Like we try really hard to leave every customer just so happy with us, and I think it's been really just good for our brand as well. In fact, people turn around and they go, I can't believe you gave us that kind of a service. Like,
that's one of the coolest customer experiences I had. The entire history of the business for me was just a few weeks ago, and the guy initially got a wallet and had a nitpick thing about it, and he turned around and he started using it, and he wrote me back. This guy was so nice.
He apologized for any of his nitpicks.
He apologized.
And he was over the top.
He wrote me like 6 paragraphs, and he said,
he was.
Man, I feel like I was a little bit maybe rude up front, and I didn't think that necessarily, but I felt like his feedback was a little bit critical. But he turned around and he apologized, and he said, I used the product and I loved it, and I thought that was super cool. He took the time to come back 2 weeks later and say, you know what? I'm actually in love with this wallet, this design, and everything's great. So that was a really cool experience for me. And
but that just kind of sums up the history of the brand. Unless you are just a person who takes advantage and it's obvious and it drips from your email, we bend over backwards to make sure that like you're taken care of and you're happy with everything you've gotten. The warranty's going to go on forever. If it's got our brand on it, then it's good.
We're proud of the pieces we ship out.
We really take pride in it.
Yeah. We try to take care of everyone too. Like, there's only, there's an extent to that too, and it kind of depends on people's attitudes when they reach out to us too. But we don't take things personally. We understand people's frustrations. We try to see from their viewpoint first. At the end of the day, we try to do our very best with every single situation, and I mean that. Even if we get feedback that's like less than stellar, you still gotta kind of look at it objectively and just go, you know what, I'm gonna do my best in this situation and make sure this customer, even if they're gonna cancel an order, make sure they have a good experience, because that's what it's all about, man.
And you can't win them all. There's some people who are just gonna be, I don't know, they're just gonna not be happy with you. Even when it comes to competition, some people were mentioning some competition in the comments, and I don't like naming names because I really don't care to smear or talk bad about other brands. But some people run their business in their own way, and we run our business in our way, and we really, really will always make that effort to have everybody happy with any interaction they have with us. But if you're just out on the attack, then we're gonna have to just have a drink and say, hey, I
honestly feel like part of the reason why we've been able to keep such a high standard and as we've grown is not focusing on our competition. We're not worried about what other brands are doing, and if they release this product, like we're not concerned. You don't see us downing other brands. I mean, we love the leather working community, and there's a bunch of guys in the that a lot of people would consider competitors.
In fact,
that are
Andy,
just our friends.
Blackthorn, Andy, go check out Blackthorn Leather. I want to give him a shout out. He's been in the comments here for most of this. I've seen that and I appreciate that. He does really rad work. In fact, Andy was actually an inspiration early on for me. In fact,
we've been longtime followers of
theirs. Yeah. But even still, I kind of modeled an early bag when I was just a hobbyist off of one of like his kind of styles. But Blackthorn Leather is worth checking out for just a small independent guy who does it he's a hobbyist. It's on the side. But there's stuff where like we love other brands. Anvil Rose, go check out Anvil Rose. His camera harness strap is
his YouTube content too. Seriously,
his YouTube channel.
If you have time to kill,
if we could get as good as him,
he's an absolute joy to watch. Honestly, I watch I'm actually subscribed myself. But I love watching his videos. He's a hoot, man.
Yeah.
He's a hoot.
Anvil Road, Weston, really cool guy. He cuts Nick's boots in half, and it makes me cry a little bit on the inside.
Not just Nick's.
Red Wing. Well, it doesn't matter. Like, he cuts shit in half.
He did a leather care video the other day, which is great.
He cut up one of our insider wallets. But anyways, the point being is that we love other brands, and we don't feel a need to be hostile or competitive or anything.
In fact, we've had great communication with other brands, pitching ideas to each other for tool sets and different things, and it's great to be a part of this community. We are more than blessed to be a part of this community of both customers, and other businesses and brands alike. Like it's a cool experience for me.
Yeah.
To be able to see other people's art and be able to talk to them about it on a daily basis, join their lives.
Yeah.
Chat with them in some instances. So
absolutely. It's a small niche market. There's plenty of room for anybody. There's no need for hostilities, but people get hostile. Everyone has a kind of an idea of how a business should be run. Some brands, I would say, lowball and hurt maybe the economic side of things. Like there's a little bit of economics that has to be understood, that you have to be a business owner to really appreciate.
There's rules in business.
Pricing on things.
There's rules in business that people just don't typically understand sometimes, and
right.
If you were wondering, making a knockoff port for $15 breaks that rule.
Yeah. Yeah. Knocking off other people's designs, taking brand names, product names, all that
Photos.
stuff, like like that stuff's important. Art is art, and protect the artists, protect the original guys. We're big on that.
But honestly, for the most part, the leatherworking community is
good.
People are unique and creative, and
and
they're focused on themselves and their brand and creating something cool. And
we
don't have problems with
no.
with
Man,
almost
there's-
anybody.
No, we love it.
Yeah.
And there's guys across the spectrum of business too, where they're just starting or they've been doing this for a while, and we appreciate that. We know what the struggle is, we know the problem areas, and we've been there in a lot of instances, and we're heading there in some instances, and it's a cool experience to be able to come alongside those guys and be like, I remember those days, man. Or I am not looking forward to doing that, dude. Like, so we all kind of, there's a community of us. So I like to reach out and talk to these guys as often as possible. So, and gals.
Is there?
A couple things. Somebody was asking about the difference between ghost leather and normal leather.
Let's talk about Ghost. Ghost is a hot topic right now. Someone's asking. Ghost refers to a wax coating on top of the leather. This is a red leather. There's a black wax coating on this right now. This is from the Walpierre Tannery out of Italy. This is some of the nicest leather that we've gotten out of Italy. Like we love, there's good Italian leather, as you know. Hyper dense. They massage their cows with rich balms and oils,
Non-GMO,
and
grass-fed.
frankincense. Yeah, and they just live the best cow life ever. There's like not even barbed wire scars in
cow
these.
life.
Like they're
sipping on lattes.
Yeah, they're drink mocha choca bullshit.
Well, people ask too.
It's amazing.
They care so much about this leather at this tannery that they only sell it in the best premium cut.
The bend.
Right. So this is considered shoulder. This is part of a side, and it is the best part out of a side of leather, which is a side is a half of a cowhide. So it's not very big. This is considered, I think, 10 square foot is about a typical bend.
Yeah.
But when every bit is super dense, you're talking every aspect about it is good and usable. When we order a normal side of leather, we cut off the belly. We get rid of belly leather because it is
And
loose fibers. It
and the
doesn't
legs,
hold up. We use belly leather for our coasters and things like that. It's good for small things, but not duty. But
This leather's like a 90% retention versus
Yeah.
the 70% retention
Yeah.
of a full side. So
it's a full yield piece.
It's
for
the
us.
it's only the best cut of the animal.
So we call it Ghost, or they call it Ghost. The Ghost refers to that wax coating. We've done Ghost whiskey. You can probably find it on our website. It was a white wax. This is a black wax. Essentially, over time, the black wax wears off and starts to reveal the red that's underneath this, and makes an amazing color. And you can kind of dig through our Instagram profile to see it. You can look at our listing on our website, and I show a couple photos of well-worn. But the black cherry has been in the highest demand out of the Ghost leathers that we've offered. But Ghost has become like one of our most favorite, like fun. It's
so dense,
man, in fact,
and so strong.
I wonder if I can get a focus. I'm gonna try to focus.
It won't focus.
It won't. It's not on
yeah,
autofocus.
It won't autofocus. No.
We turn that off. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
it's so dense and so strong, though. It's got the rigidity of like a vegetable tan leather. It's very scratch resistant in terms of the leather itself, not the wax, but the leather itself. It's super heavy duty. It's just it's a wonderful leather, and it was a great find. Like, honestly, it's been one of my favorites to work with. And I've gotten more compliments on this particular leather than any other leather that I carry. When you go to a restaurant and you go to pay and you pull out your wallet, everyone asks questions. When I go through a drive-thru and I pull out my wallet at Starbucks or whatever else, people ask questions. It is one of those leathers that just turns heads. It's really a ton of fun. It's uber limited right now. We're filling our pre-orders from July 1st, and then we will get to the limited quantities that are extra that are available right now on the website. So if you're interested, craftandlore.com, check it out. I don't even know how many we have left, so go quick.
Yeah, get on the website and get Black Cherry while you can. Another thing I would like to quickly mention before our show goes on for too long. We've got another brass comb coming out. This is a limited run. This is Hog Doggins. This is their design. Our buddy Bryant. In fact, he just spent a weekend out here, and we went and did everything together.
It's amazing.
I love Bryant. This is one of those guys that is just amazing. But he's got a bunch of these brass combs. They got the old finger fidget spot, but I can't really get the camera to focus on it. The photos are coming. It's a rad thing. New to the EDC. We're going to do a limited run, so that's coming up.
That's coming up soon. We also have another limited edition besides the Ghost that's available today. That will be available between now and Black Friday at some time. It's in the pipes. It's pretty cool. We're excited to get it out there and show people what that is too. So keep your eyes peeled in the lounge and on Instagram. Other than that, do we have... Douglas, what do we got coming out for video content? I know we got something coming soon.
Yeah, so we're working on... so we just released... What was it? How to size your belt. An informational video about how to find your true waist size, your pant size, and how to order a belt based on that information. We're going to kind of overview our cuff lineup. We had some questions about differences between cuffs, and a lot of people... some people aren't prepared for what the mountain belt cuff... really is gonna give to them, which is it's pretty beefy.
It's very beefy.
It is definitely.
I'm a little fella, and I don't wear the mountain belt cuff. It's a tough cuff. I'll wear the craft cuff all day long.
It's a tough one. Yeah.
So we rock the craft cuff underneath the watch. I think all three of us do. The mountain belt cuff is, a bit wider and a bit thicker.
Yeah.
It's quite substantial of a cuff, but personally, guys, I like the mountain belt.
I like the mountain cuff,
but
I would wear a single. I'd be okay with wearing a single mountain cuff instead of the double craft any day. The double mountain belt cuff, I'm a little bit of a thinner guy, so it doesn't, So it looks a little bit odd on me.
You're not a big accessory type guy.
It's a little bit odd on me, but
it's beefy.
It's a good piece.
So the video that we're working on hopefully makes it easier to see and feel before people who buy.
Yeah.
But for the most part, we all wear the craft cuff, just so you know.
And then after that, we're going to be talking about some stuff, differences between hand stitching and machine sewing. Which is a question we got a lot, especially when we were more promoting the Falkland stuff, is differences between the two, why we use machine sewing for our bags and for things like our pipe roll and some of our other products, and why we use hand sewing for more of the rigid wallets, notebooks, that type of stuff. So we'll be going over that information and kind of giving you guys a taste for why we hand stitch everything. Because I think everybody has that question. Even other companies ask us how we continue to hand stitch when everybody is machine sewing, and there's a good reason for it. So
I've gotten more comments on hand sewing in the last month than I think we ever have. It's hand sewing. I'll just shoot something out there. It has an aesthetic that's just absolutely pleasing, right?
Yep.
Like the aesthetic of it, just the look of it is so pleasing compared to machine sewn. And then the durability on top of it's kind of just the cherry on top. Like, I don't know. I'm in love with it. But anyhow, we'll talk about that in a video coming up hopefully soon.
Yep.
So let's get to who wants a free thing? Who wants to win?
Let's give away something else.
400 to 500.
Yeah. Who wants to win?
Oh, we got a Valet Tray. It's a catch-all. Throw it on your nightstand, your entryway table. Throw your keys in there.
This is a Craft and Lore must-have. Like, I feel like this is one of my most used things besides a wallet.
You could fit your crack pipe and your spoon in there.
Don't do
whatever
that.
you want. You could
Don't
do
do
it.
that.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that, but Futon Entertainment said how would the pipe roll work as a pen pouch? I think it'd be first of all, it'd be a great pen pouch. It'd be a great for an artist that had a bunch of different types of pencils. And
there was a guy that Tyler and I met at a show that had $500+ pen collection.
Yeah.
Per pen, and he bought one for his pen collection. So it does work. And he had one of his pens to show us. It was $425 pen, and he put it into the pipe roll, and he's like, "Yep, I'll take one."
Yeah, the way that the pipe roll rolls, it kind of protects each thing, so things aren't smashing against each other when you fold that.
Ty, did you get that number?
Oh wow!
Nobody's guessed it yet.
The giveaway has begun for those who aren't paying attention to the comments.
Oh, some really close.
People are typing too fast.
Some of you are mashing them in there, and you're getting throttled. So,
Tactical Teddy, you are about 100 numbers off there. So
we got it.
Oh, we got it.
Charles
All right.
Bronson.
What?
Charles!
Bronson. Nice.
He's been writing all night.
Dude, Charles.
Thank you, Charles, for hanging out. You know the rules. Hit us craftandlore.com, do the contact form, send us your first name, last name, full address, and the product you won.
Subscribe to Michael's OnlyFans.
It's $29.99 a month, though, so
You will regret it.
all right, stop numbers, seriously.
All right. Good game, Charles. Yeah, contact form. Thank you for playing. I don't know. What do you guys want to do? We're at half an hour longer than normal for our live. So do you want to keep going, or do you want to?
Let's ask out some QAs real fast.
Still got
We got about 10 or 15 minutes left if people want to hang out. Ty, is any of the black cherry still available?
I believe so. Let me double check the page.
If it says it's available on the website,
It sure is.
Ooh.
and if it does not say that it's available on the website,
It is available.
it's still
in all
available.
4 flavors.
Who remembers these?
All 4 flavors.
Dude,
Yeah.
Torque Bar.
There we go.
Who remembers these, man? Let's bring these back. I like that.
They have never left. Scott is still making those bad boys.
Is he really?
Was it MD Engineering or something? What
MD
was-
Engineering, Scott, what's it, McCorksky, McSomething ski?
Something ski?
I don't know. Is he Irish or is he Polish? I don't know.
Can you fit the iPhone Pro Max in a Valet Tray?
Yes.
This is
Yes, visual
You
evidence.
can fit 2 of them.
Don't.
it's a little bit of a squeeze, but it could definitely like sit on the edge, you know, sit in a corner if you wanted to.
That's the iPhone 11 Pro Max.
Yeah, this is
Cyclone 538 wants to know how he can better promote his brand.
media presence.
Media, photography,
Consistency, man.
consistency, posting daily.
I can tell
Customer service.
I can tell
interaction.
I can tell you from personal experience that, well, Douglas can too. Consistency, posting every day, every other day, just really pushing those numbers out there and getting the content out. Make sure it's quality content and learning. Like if you don't do this, but if you look back at the beginning of the Craft and Lore photos, it's the same guy. You know, it went from a Galaxy S1 Razr flip phone. What were you on?
Razr flip phone. I was on the original Droid, not Android. The
Touch.
Droid 1 Motorola.
Droid 1
It had the
Motorola.
slide out
Oh,
keyboard, the
yikes.
whole beep boop.
No, you go from
We played Pandora on that in the old shop.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
You go from small cell phones to and good lighting to better lighting and better composition to cameras and from that to post editing in a computer, and so you learn as you go along, and customer service is key, man. It's the people that are buying your product or potentially buying your product that drive your business. So
Sure.
It's always been the way to sell a product is, first of all, make a good product, but second of all is getting it in front of as many people as you can. And the way you do that is creating a media following.
Do giveaways, sponsor your post on Facebook or Instagram.
Yeah.
Start an OnlyFans. Don't do that.
But you need a following. You need a following to sell products.
there's a ton of people in here asking questions. So what brass pens do we like to use?
He asked pencils. I don't actually have a brass pencil. I don't use pencil. When I write, I want it permanent.
Anyways, so the brass pens we use the most. What do you think?
Oh, somebody did ask for pens?
No, I'm just saying.
Oh.
Instead of pencil, what do you?
Karis Karis Penco, their bolt I just love, but Tactile Turn, their bolt is amazing too. I don't know, I love bolt pens because of the fidget
Factor.
factor. This is a Tech 2 or a Tech Liner from
I don't remember that one.
I don't remember what yeah, I feel like he has got a tech name. Got the magnetic. It's fun. It's cool.
The bolt action pens, though, I'm a huge fan of Karis. Great guys over there. The tolerances are always incredible.
Yeah. Dude, what type of music? Good question. All.
It's a good one.
All the music.
Oh, that's a great question. Well, let's go down the line. What do you?
Mike only listens to metal, hardcore metalcore.
Let him tell about his music.
So literally from front to back of the shop.
This is an argument.
Literally from front to back of the shop.
Here it comes.
There's different music playing. So literally as we walked in today, Guy was listening to
Mozart, Wagner, Flight of the Valkyries.
Literally Flight of the Valkyries today. Guy listens to classical piano music for the most part. Nathaniel here, it can change from Taylor Swift to Skater Boy to
wait, what?
Oh, sorry. You were listening?
No, I wasn't. Somebody put a comment in there and it just
jarred you a little bit.
Someone.
Why don't you explain to the people what you listen to up front?
Oh, someone.
Dr. Disrespect has new singles out.
Red Skies on repeat for
Dr. Disrespect, Red Skies. That's what Nathaniel listens to for an hour on repeat.
Okay, only on live day. It's to get my guys pumped up. So. I don't even know why I try anymore.
No, it's Scandinavian, Wardruna, drum music, chanting. He listens to a lot of Motorhead, old school rock and roll, outlaw rock and roll.
Waylon Jennings. But I'll also fire up some retro synthwave that is just that 80s.
Daniel Deluxe, man.
Daniel Deluxe. But
what about you?
Old punk rock too. So Misfits.
I have a playlist that's available for anyone to follow on Spotify called Pig Squeal Death March.
Yeah, Mike likes the Pig Squeal.
It's farm noises to breakdowns and blast beats. But no, I listen to everything. In the back, we're typically rocking video game soundtracks. We listen to a lot of piano music too. There's a local guy. I found out he's local. Brian Crane.
Oh yeah,
piano and violin duets. I had no clue he was a local, but he's literally from here. I love that guy. String music we love. Nobuo Uematsu, the guy that plays, he's a world class pianist. He did the soundtrack for Final Fantasy games, Final Fantasy VII.
Dude, Earth Coker, the Ori soundtracks.
The Ori soundtracks,
Zelda soundtracks, but Dropkick Murphys. Let's talk about punk rock. Wild Buffalo.
Yeah. Cro-Mags.
Dude, who did we go see with the Wild Buffalo? It was who was the other great guys? Oh man, I can't.
Flogging Molly.
Flogging Molly, yeah, great band.
Yeah, Flogging Molly was insane.
We went to see them in Spokane, and that was one of our favorite shows.
But we also listened to hardcore. We listened to We Butter the Bread with Butter. Shout out to Germany.
We butter the bread with butter. Look them up on Spotify. You will be disappointed. But maybe not.
And I listen to a lot of stuff. I don't know if I listen to everything that these guys listen to.
Dude, Adam,
I listen to
Von Campen. She's amazing. She actually mentions Coeur d'Alene in I think 2 of her songs. Sorry, go ahead.
Douglas.
Like Coulter Wall.
Older
stuff like Tom Waits. I've listened to a lot of Tom Waits lately.
Tom Waits classics.
Wardruna. If you're in a warlike mood.
Falkenbach. Falkenbach. German
one-man
folk
show.
Metal. One-man show.
Yeah.
Falkenbach.
And,
Opeth. Swedish.
Swedish.
Shout out Gothenburg.
Yeah.
I personally really like Ruby Haunt.
Yeah, what was the other one?
Ruby Haunt's a little bit like synthy, a little bit 80s,
Job for
like
a Cowboy.
What was that gal you were listening to for a long time?
Molly Bird.
Molly Bird.
Really soft female vocals, classical style.
She's great.
Who guessed Job for a Cowboy?
I don't know who Corey Boyd is, but you just won points.
Atonement of the Machine, man.
Job for a Cowboy.
Oh, yeah.
Atonement of the Machine.
London Grammar is up there. I would put her kind of, well, it's an English band, but they're kind of that Molly Birch vibe.
Tyler and I, when we're in the back room, we're huge Tool fans. So Tool gets played. A Perfect Circle gets played. not super keen on the blasphemies in some of their music, but other than that, their music is pretty great. The composition's just absolutely top notch, though.
Duke Garwood is one of my favorites.
Dude, that's a good one too. Yeah,
Duke Garwood's
more bluesy
chill.
style.
And, yeah, and I listen to a lot of listen to a lot of like Russian folk music, Ukrainian folk like Daka Braka and those kind of people.
Classical pop and rock, pig squeal, classic rock. That's how the genre goes.
I love a lot of classic rock too. I'll play all the old stuff from the Stones and the Creedence. And
we started designing a Craft and Lore playlist actually.
We did on Spotify.
We
and
did.
It's more like bluesy rock, White Stripes,
Newgrass,
Nathaniel Ratliff, Newgrass, like the Dead South. We're still trying to decide if we're going to make it public, but now we just kind of made it public.
Yeah, maybe we should.
Yeah.
A lot of good new rock and bluegrass.
When it's just Mike and I, though, it's usually the big
Adam
squeals,
knows
just to
that
be clear.
Mike listens to Adele for sure.
I sing like Adele, dude. Seriously,
He does. He's
I'm a
got
songbird of my generation.
a voice of an angel. Yeah, we do ride motorcycles, and I'm the one that rides probably the most, but I also hurt myself the most. I have a long history of hurting myself.
You know what, guys? This time of year, Bill Evans, Portrait in Jazz. That's my most played album right now, legitimately.
Get
Bill
out of
Evans,
here,
Portrait
dude.
in Jazz, dude.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Chill
I already know.
piano music.
I already know what my most played album is, dude. How do you even find that?
Go to your Spotify right now. What does it say?
You can do like.
I got Bjork. Only a little bit of Bjork. We're Drew and Tom Waits. We probably should stop talking about music before we just
we're
run
gonna get
all of our fans off.
We're getting a full tangent
Dude.
going here.
Welshly Arms. Look up Welshly Arms.
I
feel like everything they do is great.
I have Bring Me the Horizon, Tool,
Oh dear.
a band called Currents. They're a gent band out of the UK.
Bro.
Dude, Sturgill Simpson just did this album, which is crazy.
And Charles Bronson is also asking how he should hit you guys up about the EDC trip.
Charles, please.
Come on, Charles.
craftandlore.com, the contact form at the bottom of the screen.
Just
first, last name, and mailing address. You'll figure it out, dude. I trust in you. You can do this.
My most played this year is Whitechapel.
How do you?
This guy.
Whitechapel's awesome, man.
Dude.
Yeah.
Listen to some.
That new album's really.
Phil
Bozeman.
Yeah.
Phil fucking Bozeman, dude.
Yeah.
He's got some pipes. He can sing too.
Yeah, he does.
No serious injuries on my motorcycle for the comment that's asking. It's mostly broken ribs and dirt bike up the mountains and falling down mountains and doing things like that. Street bike I'm a little safer on because you die hard and forever and there's no respawn on street bike. But dirt bike I go a little nuttier and it's falling logs and rocks and climbing up steep rocky mountains that get me. But
cool.
Anyways,
well, guys, I'm gonna pour one last one for you guys. Thank you for hanging out tonight. We are running out of time. This has been one of the longest lives we've ever done. So
thanks for hanging out here.
Why are you even here?
Yeah, you guys should be partying right now.
We appreciate all the questions. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Let us know. Let us know how we're doing. Comment there in the comment section. Subscribe to the YouTube. I got to throw that out there too.
Sure.
We are live every other week or so.
And releasing videos.
And releasing new videos relatively every week.
Yeah.
We're really trying to push this to kind of increase the engagement with you guys and answer any questions you might have. So any suggestions you have, let us know. And we'll see you guys soon.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
See you next time.